And joining us now on our Book Talk segment, great to welcome in, who's written a very interesting book, very helpful book, I'm sure. It is called The Warrior Challenge, 8 Quests for Boys to Grow Up with Kindness, Courage, and Grit. We're joined today by John Beede. He's had a very interesting life and career. He's had a lot of great adventures. We'll hopefully hear about a couple of them today, but he joined us by telephone today. And John, good to talk with you. How are you?
I'm great, Doug. Thanks for having me on. Excited to be with you.
Are you out in Nevada still today, or?
I sure am. I'm in Henderson, Nevada, which is right outside of Las Vegas, and still doing the pandemic life.
I'm looking forward to getting back out there. Vegas is one of my favorite places to visit, but unfortunately I couldn't get out there this year yet. Hopefully by the end of the year it'll be back to somewhat sort of normal.
Well, let's go out and have a good time on this trip when you come.
That's it. Well, first of all, I applaud you for writing this kind of book. I think obviously we need it more nowadays, particularly with kids that maybe spend a little bit too much time on the phone or playing with the computer or video games. But I think you kind of touched on that in the book a little bit. But these are the kind of things, I guess, generations previously. I know the high school I went to, we went to this a couple of weeks a year to this camp up in New Hampshire and did something similar to what you have in the book. Not quite as fleshed out, but we did some of those kind of challenges. So I think it's a good idea. Thanks for writing it.
Awesome. Thanks for your excitement about it. And those camps like that where we had these rites of passage. Like I was an Eagle Scout,
right?
And you had to kind of accomplish these tasks in order to say, all right, now you are like ready to protect your society. You can look after yourself. You can uplift and encourage others. And that was the motive for writing this. Like, how do we teach our young men today to grow up with values of radical honesty and healthy boundaries and sense of equality? And that's what this book gets to.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, the education system, that should be the only place you get that. Your parents, hopefully, too, or grandparents, but that has kind of gotten out of whatever curriculum there was to kind of teach, boys to be men, women to be women. So I guess that's something we need nowadays, right, to get kind of back toward that.
Yeah, a lot of teachers cannot teach morals in the school. I mean, they aren't allowed to teach values. They're just meant to stick to English, math, science. And so it's up to parents now to instill the values and the way that their kids are going to approach the world. And I started with this for boys because I was a boy who grew up with messages like, to be a man, all you got to do is be tough, never admit to your emotions, do dangerous activities in order to prove your manhood. And yeah, I did some crazy adventures because of this message. I climbed Mount Everest right up to the top. I climbed the tallest mountain on every continent, in fact. I've kite surfed in every ocean on the planet. I've even been in tribal warfare. But in all these adventures, what I realized was that bottling up my pain was only destructive for myself. And how much better would it have been had I been told right up front, emotional honesty is a strength, not a weakness. And if somebody had shown me how to set healthy boundaries with others, if somebody had given me the picture that it was cool to find friends who will support you and lift you up, like if that was made awesome, all these ideas that I believe now would have made my own life better, that's what I put in the book. Now, the funny thing is, this isn't unique to me. I've spoken to close to 1 million live audience members of teens and tweens in every state in the U.S., in 6 countries, and throughout that process, I see the same message being given to young men. They either be so tough that you don't show your emotions, or be such a pushover that anybody can do anything they want and you won't stand up for yourself, you have no spine, or just numb it away and use substances. Like, those are the cultural messages.
Right.
I strongly believe there's a better way, and I put that in this book to try and show that solution.
Do you find, and you said, you obviously do a lot of the public speaking and probably individual groups as well, or even one-on-one, do you find, I guess, boys, age 10 and up, I guess, 10 to 18, something like that, are kind of searching for this kind of thing? I mean, obviously, I guess they are, right?
Well, I think that young men are looking for some sort of purpose. And you mentioned like games and video games. From a guy's perspective, I loved video games when I was a kid because I would go into these adventures and there was a quest in front of me. There was a challenge to overcome. Like, guys thrive on this. And that's why I wrote the book like a video game, where each of the 8 quests builds on the one before. and you're in the shoes of these amazing real-life, true human adventurers and role models who exemplify these values. So 100%, like guys need to be challenged. We want to be challenged, and that's why it's called the Warrior Challenge.
Yeah, I just going back to myself again, back in elementary school and whatever grades after, part of your day was kind of planning what you're going to do that afternoon, whatever sport you were going to play, and the competition of it. That's what we needed. And I'm not taking anything from video games, nothing wrong with that. But I think that you don't get the competition, like you said, and Warrior, it's a competition, right? So I think that's a good thing. Yeah. Well, before we run out of time, let's just go through the 8 challenges briefly. You don't have to talk a lot about each one, but if you could, just give a capsule summary of what they are.
Yeah, of course. And the first quest, a Maasai warrior, will show your son how to step up and start improving. It's not about perfection. It's about living with intentionality. And challenge number 2, a professional skateboarder who jumped over the Great Wall of China will teach your son self-awareness. Challenge 3, a Baja 1000 off-road racer will show him how to choose values. And this is where families can kind of create their own warrior creed that they get their children to live by. And challenge 4, a friend of mine who escaped from a communist country will teach your son how to set healthy boundaries. Challenge 5, 2 rock climbers who climbed the hardest route on Earth will show boys how to wisely select their friends who uplift and bring him up. Challenge 6, to learn resilience from an Antarctic explorer who lived for 2 years with his crew by eating penguins. Challenge 7, a former NFL player will show him how to spot and stop toxic relationships. And then finally, Challenge 8, a pirate from the Civil War will show your son how to pick the battles in life that are truly important and live with equality as a value.
Yeah, great. And the book is laid out. It's very interesting to read, obviously fun to read, but you have some great illustrations in the book as well. I think the man is Johnny Dombrowski, if I have the name right. So you kind of combine not only the written word, but the pictures really kind of help.
Yeah, he did an amazing job. There's comic book art through it, and he just got the vision that I was trying to write. And man, he does a phenomenal job. The art is absolutely engaging and beautiful. I couldn't have asked for a better illustrator.
What's your plans, future plans for the book? I guess obviously would make a video or some kind of a visual presentation, or if you haven't already done that, then I guess you continue to do the public speaking, right, on this?
Public speaking's kind of shut down because of COVID, so once I kind of get the book launched, I'm going to create a home study e-learning warrior boot camp, essentially, where I get these adventurers like these guys online, and we go through the challenges once per week and hopefully make it a 4-credit class.
Yeah, great. I was thinking something like that. Obviously now you can't get in front of groups. Hopefully that'll change soon. But again, the name of the book is The Warrior Challenge, 8 quests for boys to grow up with kindness, courage, and grit. And John Beede has been our guest today. And John, give out your website if you would, or any place else you'd like to direct people to.
Of course. The book is available on Amazon. It's called The Warrior Challenge. Just search for that, and then you're looking for the bright red cover. If anybody listening would like a signed insert, so I'll give you the details on how on my website, but I'll sign it, mail it to you, and you can put it inside the book so you have your own signed copy. And I'll also give you a sample of the ebook or the audiobook if you're just interested in kind of getting a taste for it. But the website is www.warriorchallengebook.com.
Great. We'll also put a link up on our website as well. But John, great pleasure to talk with you. Hopefully we can do it again. Keep up the great work, and thanks for being with us.
Doug, thanks so much. I appreciate your time.
I'm Stan Brock. 30 years ago, I formed Remote Area Medical to help people overseas. But then we found generations of families in America isolated by poverty from the health care they need. Together, we can take dental, vision, and medical help to 1 million adults and their kids, right here at home in the United States of America.